And then just from the gas fees alone, they would be saving tens of millions a year just by transferring over to Kaspa.
What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Mite, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
What other cryptocurrency should you buy? What's the next Bitcoin? Well,
during our journey on this crypto ocean, Crypto Crew, it is important to spot our opportunities, and with this bull run set to fully ignite soon, as of today, there are two things you can do during this sideways market, Crypto Crew. One, buy the dips, or two, if you can't buy the dips, exercise long suffering. Because most investors or people on the crypto ocean period, and this is especially true during red days like these, panic sell, revise their strategies, or worse, quit the crypto ocean altogether. Why? Because we live in a society that is fueled on instant gratification, patience, or long suffering, Crypto Crew, as most of our opportunities, not just on the crypto ocean, but in life in general, has to do with timing. Wise king and OG entrepreneur Solomon once said, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly." Exercising patience during a sideways market builds experience, and experience builds hope, which is the foundation for conviction. Conviction and early adoption is what eventually will bear the fruit, the success on his crypto ocean. Now, there are some people who may have written off Kaspa, people who are super bearish on Kaspa, saying Kaspa will peak at 40 cents max, not taking into consideration the huge upside Kaspa still has. What separates Kaspa from its ultimate potential, in my opinion, being a permanent top 3 crypto coin, and now is time and adoption. Keep in mind, Crypto Crew, Kaspa is the first ever trilemma solver, which can solve real-life issues, and with Kaspa's revolutionary blockdag technology, which not only provides lightning-fast transactions whilst being secure and fully decentralized, being a proof of work, Kaspa presents an edge versus existing providers by offering lower transaction fees, which in turn allows big industry players using blockchain technology to save potential millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Give me a second, I'll switch it up.
Now, in July of 2024, Kaspa launched a new foundation called KII, or KAI, the Kaspa Industrial Initiative, which is a foundation committed to leveraging Kaspa's high-performance directed acyclic graph, or DAG-based distributed ledger technology, DLT, to drive innovation and efficiency across key industries and enterprise sectors. The goal, Crypto Crew, with Kaspa KII is building a network of companies, leaders, and academics worldwide to champion the adoption of Kaspa's next-generation platform. Kaspa KII's aim is to position Kaspa as the ultimate base layer for various applications, basically implementing Kaspa's unique proposition, solving the trilemma for industrial and enterprise applications in finance, supply chain, energy, and the public sector. So Kaspa's adoption is not just for peer-to-peer consumers like you and I, which Kaspa proves to be able to provide already, even in its current infancy stages, but I'm talking about massive adoption by big corporations in diverse industries. Now, shout out to Kaspa Silver, the brother in Christ, shared an interview of Wolfie on X recently. Well, it started off as titled Kaspa Roundtable until Rory O'Neal, a board member of Kaspa KII, chimed in to share some revelations of what is in the pipeline for Kaspa when it comes to adoption on a worldwide scale, and O'Neal is not talking about retail money from private investors. Listen in, Crypto Crew.
Hi guys, it's Rory here from the team. What you guys were just talking about in terms of, industries looking at different blockchains in the past and finding them not to be a correct fit is exactly where we've come from. We started a project late 2015, early 2016 in the energy sector, and we thought DLT technology would be really, really useful. And at the time, we invested more than $12 million in this particular project for energy transactions and reconciliations for cross-border trade. We discovered early last year Kaspa and spent some time looking at it quietly in the background and how it could work. We saw that there wasn't smart contracts or layer 2s or anything like that available at the time. But we thought that the base technology in and of itself was super, super interesting. We have a number of interesting projects that require a DLT solution at scale. And that's the key word, and the key word being scale. And because of the nature of these systems, we wanted to make sure that we had something that was completely decentralized so that we could have censorship resistance, which is a very important aspect where you don't want individual governments or bad actors to interfere in the project. We don't want to have centralized control. In many cases, we struggled with the scalability. The energy sector is one of the most valuable sectors on the planet. And if you consider just for emissions trading, for example, and the value of that market by 2030 is valued at $2 trillion a year. The underlying assets themselves are extremely valuable. We launched an initiative for emissions trading last November as part of DII, the Desert Energy Network. And I'm on the board there, as is Paul Van Son, our chairman. And we finally just came to the conclusion that, well, let's just use Kaspa. It would assist us, immensely. But there was lots of other things because energy underpins the entire platform. It's a proof of work, so it requires energy. Energy is a factor of the security. And for us, that's very, very important because if we're thinking of tokenizing a green hydrogen facility that's worth $1.5 billion, we want to make sure that the underpinning security of that tokenization is absolutely immutable. And then if we're talking about transactions at scale across multiple different ecosystems or a continuously traded market like electricity where the balancing and rebalancing occurs every 15 minutes or so, we need to have the ability to scale. And similarly, if we go down to the domestic level where there's smart meters, those smart meters generate petabytes of data. Most of it is just excrement, but the bits that we do need to act on and transact on require a certain degree of scalability. So Kaspa fits the bill very, very nicely. So we have this network, the DII Desert Energy, and Paul Van Son, set that up 15 years ago, and we were able to take initially a whole bunch of German industrial companies, and at the time promote the concept of using renewable energy and energy from the deserts as a way of powering them in the future. And 15 years ago, the cost of solar was literally the most expensive source of energy on the planet. It was very niche, it was very difficult, it required huge amounts of government subsidy. And in that time, in that 15 years, we've now seen, and we've gone through several phases. So there was Desertec 1, Desertec 2, and now DII Desert Energy, which is phase 3. We've overseen and brought a huge number of large industrial users, not just in energy. And if you look at the DII alumni, you'll see everybody from banks and law firms and insurance companies and big oil players, renewable players, manufacturers are all part of this alumni. We've succeeded in building this network of networks. And DII, by the way, it's an invite-only network. So we only invite companies in if they sort of meet the same long-term vision that we do. And then it's only for their C-suite level executives and up. So it's only for the real leaders. We decided we could do something similar with Kaspa because we both really liked the technology. And after I met with Shai in Dublin, and we were discussing some of the industrial use cases for Kaspa, we agreed that, well, it could be really a good idea to set up a foundation specifically for promoting the use of Kaspa in industry and then to act as a market enabler for Kaspa, not just for energy, but starting with energy because that's what we know, but we also know lots of other things. We know how to build shipping companies. We know how to build large pieces of infrastructure. We know how to build high-tech electronics. Let's take the model that we developed in DII, Desert Energy, apply it to KII, irrespective of industry, and then, as I say, act as a market enabler to allow the global adoption of Kaspa by industry generally. And we do that by doing a few things. One is to assist companies in understanding what Kaspa is and what it means for business. The second aspect is not just the educational part, it's to actually offer practical assistance. One is what we're actively setting up at the moment is we're convening a regulatory roundtable group of eminent experts from the EU, United States and MENA region to discuss how can we make sure that what we're doing is regulatory compliant, so we don't end up with these sorts of situations with the SEC or with nonsense regulatory barriers. So to make sure that we overcome them, particularly if we look at stable coins and things like that. What we also want to do is, because we have this deep regulatory knowledge, which comes from the energy industry and from the financial industry that's associated with it, we have all of these experts on tap. And we want to assist the Kaspa community, and we've done so already. So we've had some discussions with some really interesting projects that are coming out of Kaspa KFC20 projects, and we've already offered that. We've already given some advice and guidance on how to scale and how to deal with those regulatory aspects. And then the final part is, we want to practically assist projects. So we're working on establishing a Kaspa launchpad. And part of that launchpad is we'll take a Y Combinator type model. We have 2 VC funds that have already committed to financing it, and the ticket size is anywhere from $25,000 up to about $2 million worth of financial support. We're not quite ready to take in projects yet because we're 10. We're now almost 12 people. We're growing pretty fast. But we want to take those in a Y Combinator style, but make sure that the projects that do launch from the KI-enabled launchpad, that they're fully KYC'd, the teams are completely fully doxed, the projects are audited, and if necessary, the projects are also insured, so that we launch in a safe ecosystem. I suppose you could maybe describe it as like the iOS Apple system, where there's a little bit of a walled garden around the projects that we launch out of it to ensure that we don't damage the image of the Kaspa community or the Kaspa ecosystem by having rug pulls or by having spurious or dangerous projects in the ecosystem. Our involvement is to push Kaspa into industries where we know that there's solutions. How best to launch a stable coin, for example, on Kaspa in the Kaspa ecosystem that's fully regulatory compliant from day one. And we have some interesting initiatives around that. And then to further reinforce what we're doing, we're holding our first conference event in September in Dublin called Kaspa in Enterprise. And the whole focus of that will be to reinforce why Kaspa, why we think it's good for enterprise, why we think it's scalable, why we think it's good for financial services, why we think it's good for logistics, and we really love what the guys have built. We also have a couple of other interesting projects that would rival some of the things that Ripple are doing with XRP and Hedera are doing on the financial services side of things as well. This is the first actual public forum that we've actually spoken in, but some of the team will participate a little bit more as we're getting more settled into our new roles. So hopefully that gives a little bit of a background to what we're doing.
Yeah, so essentially you're trying to bridge enterprise and industry into the blockchain space. Can you expand a little bit more on why you think Kaspa's blockdag is the best network for that to happen?
We evaluated a lot of different blockchain projects over the years. What it came down to in the end was the trilemma being solved. So the energy efficiency, for sure, that was a big one for us. Security was the second. Speed was the third, and then decentralization we feel is very important, particularly for some of the applications we're interested in deploying and supporting. We're not a particular fan of proof of anything rather than proof of work because of the general centralization effect.
Yeah, just one more question for Kaspa KII. If you had to list out the 5 biggest enterprise applications or industrial applications that could be approved from some standpoint of efficiency in the blockchain space, what would those 5 applications be?
Energy for sure, supply chain, public sector, definitely, and cross-border payments and settlement of contracts within the financial industry. I spoke with the digital assets manager of a major financial institution about 2 weeks ago. They manage between 20 and 40 trillion worth of customer assets on an annual basis. And within their digital management team, they're currently doing 95% of the settlements on Ethereum. I asked them just roughly what the volume of transactions would be, and then just from the gas fees alone, they would be saving tens of millions a year just by transferring over to Kaspa.
If you haven't invested in Kaspa already, do your due diligence and research this project. Kaspa's upside is yet to come, and it isn't just Tier 1 exchange listings, which obviously will boost Kaspa's price as it will be widespread, especially amidst this 2024-2025 bull run. That said, Kaspa is aiming much higher and is going after big industries. And why not? Kaspa is the only crypto project on this current crypto ocean that has the fundamentals, the technology, and thus the functionalities to actually solve the problem that money has never been able to solve the problem that even Bitcoin cannot solve. Kaspa's liftoff is a matter of time and adoption. Until then, Crypto Crew, stay strong in faith when it comes to your Kaspa bags, or better yet, pack your Kaspa bags at this current price of under 20 cents because this may be your last opportunity to do so before the Kaspa ship really sails. And I'd like to end with this, as we currently are facing a sideways market and maybe some disappointments. Similar to life, Crypto Crew, on this crypto ocean we will face tribulations and disappointments, red seas, and not the one the Lord split wide open in ancient times, but the one that you see on your screen. And all I want to say is there is hope. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. The hope that whatever financial tribulations you might find yourself in currently, Crypto Crew, the stormy waters that may have manifested on your part of the crypto ocean, or even your current financial life, it can, and with your conviction, will come to pass.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean, growing grace, and let's make some crypto waves.